What is up, guys? Jason Dye back at you with another episode of commentating my own races. It's been a while. It's been a really long while, and I apologize for that. I kind of explained a little bit in my vlog, which will be linked up in the upper right. And it's really just a bunch of excuses. It's been really busy, family, holidays, all that good stuff, and I just kind of felt really far behind. So anyway, this race that we're about to go out in right now is with FMRRA. It is the SuperStock Grande Corsa. This was back in November 28th, I believe. And this was the first round of FMRRA for the 2018 season, even though it started in 2017. They just kind of offset their seasons off a little bit. But this is PBIR, Palm Beach International Raceway. And I believe this is the first one that I'm doing of this track with this series. I have other videos from way back where it's just a GoPro video of this track, of me going on this track, but no commentary. So this is going to be a new one, and new for us. Anyway, so we're here sitting on pit row waiting to go out for our warm-up lap. And let me give you a little background on PBIR. So PBIR, or Palm Beach International Raceway, as I said before, is located in Jupiter, Florida, kind of southern Florida, you know, not quite all the way to Miami, but almost there, about an hour north of Miami. And there's just, it used to be the old Moroso. And if you're familiar with the old Moroso, you know how, I guess, kind of run down that track has become and how bad the surface was. And they basically just took some time and money and just revamped the whole place, resurfaced the whole track, kind of changed the layout a little bit as well. Now, I've never been to the old Moroso myself, but I knew a lot of friends that raced before I did that did, and they said they had some stories about how bad the track was, but they still liked the track. And for the most part, this track is it's a pretty fun track. It's got everything. It's got long straights, it's got tight technical turns, and it's got long sweeping turns as well. So it's kind of packed all into one track, which is, it trains a lot, basically anything you need to train. Now, the only thing it doesn't have is elevation changes because Florida's flat. So, you know, that's one thing that we're not going to get in Florida. All the Florida tracks are pretty much flat. If you want to look at Daytona, the banking, yeah, that's kind of elevation change, but not really. So just take it for what it is. PBIR is a pretty well-rounded track. The facilities itself, though, I have to say, not the best in the region. With tracks like Jennings, which is supposed to be a cheap track for motorcycles only, they have at least power and some pretty good some decent facilities, you know, showers and whatnot. At PBIR, you have to bring your own power. You have to bring your own generator. So if you're ever going to come down to PBIR, please remember that. If you're going to run any kind of electronics, like tire warmers or anything else, you want to power anything, you have to bring your own generator. But otherwise, you know, it's just another track. It's one that's pretty close to me, about 2.5 hours away from Orlando, which is where I live. So it's sort of convenient, though I don't really come to PBIR on my own for track days or anything else very often. And honestly, the main reason is because it's relatively expensive compared to tracks like Jennings. Jennings is 3 hours away, so another half hour, and I'm there. And for the most part, track days there are a lot cheaper than they are here. I won't give you prices because that depends on the organization that you're going with. Florida Track Days has kind of a monopoly on PBIR. So if you're coming down to PBIR, probably is going to be with Florida Track Days. But it looks like we are heading out. Now, it turns out that we have 2 warm-up laps. I guess because since we were sitting on pit row for so long, even though it didn't seem that long, some people were complaining and was like, well, our tires are getting cold, we need another lap to warm them up. So here we are for the second lap. That'll give me a chance to really go through the track and the layout of itself so that you could kind of get a gauge of how the track's laid out and how I take the track. Alright, so some information about this track. It is 2.2 miles. There are 10 turns, and the long straight in the back, which we'll be coming up to pretty soon, is 0.6 of a mile, so over half a mile. And that gives you a pretty good opportunity, at least on a 600, to get up there in speed. You know, not like Daytona where you could just whale it and just keep going until your bike can't go anymore. You know, that's with my bike, I could probably get up to 170. I have gone up to like 172 at Daytona, but at this track, it's more like 150, 160. So still really, really quick. And this is a long back straight that I'm talking about. Just go, go, go. Lots of opportunities for drafting, and drafting does make a difference here. And of course, with our bikes going as fast as they do, the 0.6 of a mile goes by pretty quick. Alright, rounding out the last couple turns. Here's turn 9, and then turn 10. Alright, onto the front straight, and now I'm going to start talking about the track. So here we go, cross, start, finish. Go, go, go. You're going to shut down. I'm down 2 gears. In the second, going for turn 1. Here's turn 2. It's kind of a chicane. And back on the gas. Stay on the gas for turn 3. Go, go, go. Shut down for turn 4. And then start braking. I do a lot of trail braking here to describe my speed. It's over 180 degrees, I believe. Then get back on the gas out of turn 4. And then shut down a little bit, like just kind of coast a little bit, like go through turn 5. Not really coast, I mean just kind of scrub a little bit of speed. And long on, like there's a camber turn, and then back on the gas coming out of turn 5. Here's turn 6. Turn 6, exit into a chicane, becomes a chicane. Here's turn 7, just a short little 7. You could straight line that pretty much, and then back to the right for turn 8, and then you have to get on the gas early, nice and hard, to get that drive off onto the back straight. And just hope that no one's right behind you, because if they are, chances are they'll be able to draft past you. So at the end of this long back straight, if you saw before, hard braking, hard braking. I'm going from like top of 5th down to 2nd, and just long right, more than 180 degree turn for turn number 9 here, and then flop over for turn number 10. But here we are gridding up into our grid positions, and that's one of the things that FMRRA, Florida Motorcycle Road Racing Association, they do a little differently. Like most other organizations will grid you up based on when you pre-register or when you register. Now with FMRRA, they will grid you, they have qualifying, and that will determine based on your times where you grid on the track. And in this race, I am gridded in position number 8, so I'm actually on the 3rd row. You see to the right my teammate Doug Royce on the green Kawasaki. He's an amateur and I'm an expert, but he actually turned a better time, and that was because qualifying was kind of a bit of a cluster that day. It was just so many bikes out on track, and there was just really hard to get a good time in there. And my qualifying time for this race, or for SuperStock 600, was 124.712, so not even close to my best. My best here in the previous to this was like a 123 or 122 or something like that. Can't remember. But yeah, so definitely not there. And I'm not a great qualifier, but at the same time, I haven't been at this track in a long time, so it's not one of my favorite tracks. It's not one of the tracks that I'm particularly great at. But since this race, and I'm doing this like 2-3 months later, I've gotten a lot better, and I'm doing a lot better. So anyway, looks like we're about ready to start. Lights are on, revs are up, and lights are out. Let's go. Start was okay, and then what am I doing? I let off so early, and I just get swallowed up. Bikes coming around me, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Now this race was the first race of the day. Yeah, first race of the day, and I guess I just wasn't in my rhythm yet. I was just still not feeling confident and ready to go. So you'll see a little later on, I start picking it up, but right now I'm just getting mobbed and not doing that well at all. Like at start, I just not running very well. Like I'm not feeling aggressive, I'm not feeling ready to go. And you see bikes, I'm getting split in the middle of a turn. Like through the, seriously? Oh my goodness. Good on those people though. Nice clean passes. Didn't make me feel like I needed to check up or anything. I mean, I'm pretty good about being passed, even when it's really close, but that just shouldn't be happening. So back on the back straight, let's see if I can make up some positions. There's somebody on the new R6 in front of me. Not really making up any space on him. Dang, that new R6 is fast. Alright, let's see if I get around him. Got a little bit of better braking going to this last turn, but no, I guess I take it too wide because I didn't want to squeeze him and give him back to position. At this point, I'm probably like 10th or something like that. And I forgot to mention, actually, there was like 21 bikes on the grid. Pretty full grid, lots of bikes out there. Oh man, nice big tail wiggle. Didn't feel like I could make that turn, so I went ahead and run off. And then I'm waiting now to let the people by that were in front of me, because I would be cutting the track and that would cause a penalty if they caught it. But of course I want to be honest and not incur any penalties if I don't have to, and race honestly. I like to race clean and honest. Alright, time to make up some of that ground back. I gave a little bit too much space. Corner speed is okay getting back up to this guy. Alright, to turn 6, really sucking him in. Back on the gas, turn 7, and then let's see if we get him on the straight. Now he's on a Honda, usually at disadvantage as far as power goes, and I think we'll see it right about now. And that draft certainly does help. Just leaving him. Gotta go. Gotta catch up to the next group. A little bit of wiggle, you know, sometimes a little hard on the brakes. I had to change some of the settings throughout the day. And just slamming gears. One thing I noticed was slamming gears and just kind of taking the turn causes a lot of that wiggle. So I need to rev match, and that actually settles a bit. This time I didn't run off. This time I was able to control going into turn 1. Okay, I got Adam D is in front of me. New first race I think ever, and he's doing actually pretty well. Good on you, Adam. But I'm gonna get by you if I can. Here we go. Back on the gas. Should wait a little longer before I roll off there to, you know, because turning will scrub off a lot of speed and it will bring me back into the apex. I think I'm starting to find my groove a little bit, starting to find my rhythm. Just gotta get by these guys to really open up. Alright, I am right behind them. I could use this, get the draft, get my speed up a little bit. At the very least keep up with them, and dang, that R6 is fast. That 2017 R6, I'm on a 2008, and I'm actually on my friend's bike. My bike wasn't ready at this point, I just blew it at Daytona. But my friend so helped. Oh, look at this. 2 people in 1 pass going into the last corner. Yeah, I'm more in my groove now. So 125 was my last lap time. Let's see how I do this time now that I'm more in the groove. Can I get by? I feel a bit sketchy about this because I'm not strong enough going in turn 1, so I let him by. Another 125, but it was 5/10, almost half a second faster that time. It's gonna get better, I promise you. Alright, take a wider line. Get by him, going into turn 4. On the brakes. Keep it tight. Open it up. Try to stay on the gas a little longer. Just turn in, let the turn scrub the speed off. Go, get on the gas. I am now leaving them, which is awesome. Alright. I think I can see in the distance the next group I need to catch up with. Let's see who it is. Alright, back on the gas, let's go. Right now I'm just like, man, I gotta get up there. I gotta catch the next group. Luckily with this Grande Corsa series, it is 12 laps, so I have more time. It's not like, it's like a mini endurance. I have more time, you know, to recover from my mistakes, which I made a lot of in the beginning, as you saw. So I'm like, got my head down right now. You know, after being like swallowed up and after just lollygagging for the first couple laps, I need to really get into it. Alright, start this lap. 123.7. 1.5 seconds even faster. Alright. Stick turn 1 again. Oh, just run up on this guy. Here we go. Oh, that's Seth Starnes. Okay, Seth Starnes, very fast guy. Normally, I would never be able to beat him. What happened here was that he had a clutch burn up on him, I think. So he's limping it back, and he didn't finish this race. So hey, I'll take it. Another place for me. Now I don't want to win that way. I don't want to like get places that way. But in racing, you know, that's one of the things. So you gotta make sure your equipment was working in order to finish. All right, getting closer to the next group in front of me. I don't actually move my butt like for that turn. I just turn the bike a little bit so that I'm not like straight lining it. Try to get a wider line going out through 8 so I get a better drive. onto the back straight, onto this back straight. Here we go, here we go. 135, 137, 140. Almost 150. Hard on the brakes, down 3 gears, I think. Yes, down 3 gears in the second. Take this turn. Try to stay to the right a little bit so I can straight line more onto this back straight on the flop. Alright, here we go. Let off, down 2 gears. Yeah, at this point I think it's like I gotta chill a little bit for turn 1, because if I'm too hard going into it, you know, I can't control the bike. The rear end is just fishtailing all over the place, and it just makes it really tough. I mean, some people control it. I'm pretty sideways, which is kind of cool, but at the same time I'm not good enough to really control it, because those people that go sideways, they keep it sideways and they can just turn it. For me, like, it just moves back and forth, and then when it snaps back, I just don't feel confident in really turning it in. But I'm making some ground on that group in front of me, that rider in front of me. There's 1, 2 bikes you can see, 3 bikes you can see. And turn 6. So last lap, another 123.7, pretty consistent, but I gotta go even faster. Back even this far, even though the GoPro's wide angle makes it look farther than it is, there is a bit of a draft experience, or a draft effect. And here I go past Doug, my teammate Doug. So, you know, he's gotten a lot better at this track since this race weekend. This race weekend, he wasn't doing bad, don't get me wrong, you know, but like, he's actually he's turned faster lap times than I have at this track as I'm recording this February 1st. Alright, a little bit of wiggle going in turn 1. Woo! But I keep it, I save it, I keep it on the track. Not really good. Oh man, Doug just closes up on me because I made that mistake. I'm gonna keep going. Gotta keep up, gotta try to like make it up to them. I got 4 laps left. Who's next? Who's next? At this point I think I'm 5th or 6th overall, and I may be 4th or 5th in my class. Whoa, a little bit of wiggle there, hard on the gas. A little bit of a tank slapper, not too bad though. Those tank slappers aren't anything anymore. I mean, I used to freak the crap out of me. Now it's just another day at the beach. No, I'm sorry, not another day at the beach. Another day at the office. All right, back on the gas. Back this far, I don't think there's much of a slipstream effect, but I think I'm making a little bit because the 2008 R6 is still a strong bike. All right, you can see I'm closing a bit on braking, going into turn 9. Who is this guy? It looks like Bob Damerow, another guy that I've been racing with for a few years now with CCS. See, he's out here with FMRRA. Bob he's a strong rider. He's really strong on the brakes and really strong on the gas. His corner speed at times, I've noticed, you know, I've got better corner speed, but he's hard to pass because he's hard on the brakes. He's really hard on the brakes. And then like on the exit of the corner, he's really good on the gas. So it's really tough to get around him sometimes. Let's see if I can do it this lap. 122.44 in lap number 7, as you see to the right in my laps board. So that, I think, was actually the best lap of the weekend for me. Can I make it past him here? Nah, no, a bit sketchy there. Just gonna follow through him here. Try to stay up as close as I can so I can just take advantage of that slipstream. Do I get it? Do I fall in right behind him? Here we go. Oh, look at that slipstream line, that draft effect. Just rocket by him. Putting me far enough ahead that it doesn't give him an opportunity to pass me back. And that's one of the few ways that, you know, for me, it's easier to pass Bob because, like I said, he was very strong. He's generally pretty strong on the brakes. Now, he's been through a couple bad crashes in the last couple years. I think that has affected his speed a little bit, but don't look down on him. He's still running pretty well. All right, next person up. Got to catch up to him. Who might that be? So another interesting tidbit while I'm going around this track, top speed, you can see bottom center to the left of the speedometer, top speed so far in this entire race has been 154 miles per hour. Going pretty good. And that's GPS speed, not the speed that's on my speedometer. I'll take a little bit of a weird, like, inside line going into turn 5 here. May not be the best line. Turn. Short turn to the left and then back to the right. Just need to be closer to that rumble strip. Back on the gas. Let's see if I could top my top speed here. Lap number 10. We got 2 laps left. Who's next? Okay. No one's next. Apparently, red flag. Yeah, there we go. So now that, because we finished 9 laps, that's easily more than half the race, or 2/3 race distance. We're gonna go ahead and call that race. So I didn't get to catch up to the next couple of guys. Would I have been able to? Maybe. It's hard to say based on lap times. It's kind of, it's a maybe. You know, like I don't know for sure, but it looks like I was making some ground on them. And oh, it was my teammate Darren in that black leathers, and Alex Capellan in front of him. And Alex, I think, won that race for his class, amateur. Pretty awesome. Alright, so looking at the results, I actually got 4th in that. Bob got 3rd, even though I passed Bob, as you saw. Because of the red flag, we didn't get to finish the next lap, so it defaults to the lap before, and he was in front of me going across the line. So I finished 4th, he finished 3rd. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and close this video off here. If you made it this far and you enjoy the commentary, if it helps you out a little bit, if you go to PBR, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, I try to put these out every week, depending on my schedule. I'm gonna try every week. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of this stuff, or my vlogs, which I'll link to the upper right. And leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about anything with this video. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Just say hi in the comments if you want to. I'm good with that. Anyway, with all that said, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Finally find the groove and start putting down some good laps. Caught up to